Greetings, Jay Smith here, down at Bro Golf Range in Suffolk. Welcome to the big Mizuno golf ball testing days as such. Yeah, so basically I've got all the brand new 2020 balls from Mizuno, the RB Tour, the RB Tour X, the RB566V and the RB566. Now there's going to be lots of information. You guys, which balls are going to be suited to you? Do you go for the premium one? Do you go for the slightly cheaper layered one? Do you go for the really cheap 566, really cheap 566 golf balls, low compression, yada yada? But we need to find out how they all perform. So what I've done, and I'm going to dock my cap here to Mr. Crossfield. Mr. Crossfield has started to do ball reviews in a certain way which I absolutely love, and I believe all YouTubers should look at Mark's reviews when it comes to ball and how he is delivering the information, the old statistician that he likes to use, to deliver the data in a way where we can actually see how things perform. So I have done the same thing. I have gone to the lengths of using, I think it's the same software but gets the same result, to give the data that I have captured so we can see some correlation between different either reviewers or whatever it be. Anyway, so I'm going to go out with these four balls, Tour X, V and the normal 566. I want to get them out on the golf course. So we're going to hit some drives, we're going to hit some approach shots and we're going to hit some putts as well. Then I'm going to pop back in here and show you the data which I've captured to see how they all perform. Let's go out on the golf course to see how these four balls from Mizuno perform and feel. Okay guys, now we're on the fourth hole at Thetford. It's not really a driver hole really, but when we go get them, we'll have to pull them back a little bit to do the approach shots, but yeah. Right, so I'm going to go grab my driver. I'm going to go hit the Tour X, the 566 and the 566V, and then just give you a little overview of how they feel after every hit, before we go back into the custom fitting room to see how all the numbers and that lot and how they all perform. So, right, let's go get the driver and then we'll go give them a hit. Okay, all four balls on the floor. Let's go 566 first and see. Yeah, so this is the cheapo. I won't say the cheapo, that's a bit wrong saying the cheap. Well, it is cheap, really cheap. But I believe it's a very low compression two-piece golf ball. Haven't looked at all the data yet, but anyway, we'll give it a hit. Let's get an idea what line we're hitting on. Okie dokie, and see how this one feels. Do you know what? I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell you if that's a hard, soft or anything. Let's go hit the 566V. I tell you what, let's move the camera. I'll move the camera a little bit down the line so you can see, hopefully, well, possibly see ball flight. I'm not quite sure you'll see with the light and everything, but yeah, you'll get more of a down the line view. Let's move the camera, then we'll hit the 566V. Right. So this one is three-piece. Well, the other one's two. Slightly going up in price point now. Again, could I feel the difference? Killed the tee. With driver, no. It felt exactly the same as the other one did. How about the old Tour and Tour X? Let's go hit them. This is the premium ball market now. We go out to full urethane and above all, more expensive. But right, let's go and see if we can get my line right. Yeah, let's go see if we can get this one down there and see how this one feels. No different. They all feel with driver. They all feel exactly the same. No difference between the 566 or the V or the Tour. Tour X now, harder compression or higher compression. So if I don't think we'll feel any difference. But let's go hit it anyway. Right, Tour X on the floor. I'm guessing we'll feel absolutely no difference in driver. I mean, if we're lucky enough, they're all down there at the moment. I haven't hit one too far offline. I think they're all going to be close to fairway, if not all fairway. One more go. Nope. So basically with driver, absolutely no difference whatsoever. Let's see how they perform though. Well, results time. So basically, I don't know if you can be able to see that on camera. I doubt it. RB, my first one, bunker, in the middle of the fairway, blasted thing. Over there is the RB Tour X. RB Tour's on the left hand side, over there. And then the 5.6V, just on the left hand rough. Slight difference in distance, RB566V not quite so far. I think that's got something to do with the fact that it ran in the rough. But, and then let's not say anything about the 5.66 bunker ball. Why would you put a bunker in the middle of the fairway? Right, anyway, because they're basically all exactly the same if bunkers and rough wouldn't have got in the way. So I'm going to pick them all up, I'm going to draw them back a bit because I'm too close. I'm going to get it within, say, 8 iron distance. Let's do some approach shots and let's see. I can't feel anything with, or the sound, I can't feel anything with the driver. Let's go see if I can hit an 8 iron or something like that. Get some loft involved and see if I can feel anything then. Okay, driver, backspin first. Let's go with that. Now, I've done obviously the Tour X, the RB566V and the RB566. Now, of all of these, as you can see there, there's absolutely no difference. Well, there's marginally slightly different. You've got the RB Tour averaging around about 2000, the RB Tour X slightly above that. Now, if you look at the profile of the golf balls, the RB Tour X is supposed to launch slightly higher and spin slightly more, and it's doing that. Well, it's spinning slightly more, but not a lot. I mean, I'm talking like 100 or so, maybe 200 RPM. It's not a lot. The RB566V is doing exactly the same, and within reason also the RB566. When it comes to golf balls with a driver, unless you're going to go down a super low spinning profile golf ball like the AVX or the TP5X, you're not going to see any differences in golf balls with the driver. Right, let's go over to ball speed with driver and let's go see what the differences between those are. Right, so from this, you can say that arguing the RB Tour has got the peak there, but then again, it's also got one of the slowest along the rest of them. So it's kind of matching the RB566V, but bearing in mind, we are talking about nearly 160 miles an hour on average, 159, and then the RB Tour X is 158, and then the one that the lowest is the RB566, but that's 157 and a half. We're talking within a 1.5 mile an hour difference, which is well within what you could argue a human being will be on different days with strike would change that by massive amounts, not by 1.5. So, but again, all intents and purposes, all these golf balls are exactly the same when it comes to ball speed. Bear in mind, there's a huge price difference between all these golf balls as well. You're going to start getting the idea that necessarily, when it comes to driver, there's not much in it when it comes to these balls. Let's go to the distance, what people love. Now, this is total distance. So this is not just carry, this is bounce. What happens is when you include bounce and roll, the total distance with driver, how far it goes, because that's where we want to see how far does the driver go. This is hit at my normal speed, around about 113 miles an hour, give or take, and I'm trying to deliver as best I can do to be as accurate as I can do, particularly consistent data. Anyway, right, so you can see there, straight away on the distance front, it gets a bit more sporadic. The gapping increases. Why does it increase? Because of me. I'm a human being. I don't strike it the same every single time. The RB Tour has got an average higher than anything else. So you're going at 315 or so yards, where the RB Tour X drops down to about 310, the RB566 goes about 311, and the RB566 goes to 310. Bear in mind, the RB566 is the cheapest ball by far, and it's outdoing the premium golf ball, the RB Tour, by, well, what's the Tour outdoing it by? 4 yards? And then the Tour X, because of it launches slightly higher with a slightly bit more spin, it then drops back down by 4 yards. So it's not only how far does it carry, but obviously with a slightly higher launching golf ball with a slightly more spin rate, it's going to climb slightly higher when descend slightly steeper, and you're not going to get that bounce and chase like you do with the Tour. But that's just a different model. So I mean, we're talking about small, very, very, very small differences when it comes to driver. They all do a blooming good job. I mean, look at the distances I've been, even you could argue that the longest distance I've got with the 566V, yet one of the shortest as well. So again, it all comes down to the human who's testing. Anyway, let's go back on the golf course now. Let's go hit some approach shots into green and see how they perform. Okay, I've got all the balls together. I've pulled myself back to 149, 150. That's my normal carry with an 8 iron. And then gone about 3 yards forward because there's a slight puff of wind into. Anyway, should we do the same pattern as last time? Let's go do the same pattern as last time. So let's go hit 566 first, then the V, then the Tour, then Tour X. Yeah, okay, that's what we'll do. All right, a little puff of wind into. So let's see how this one feels. I do like the blue. Rather than the black everything, the blue. Now you've got loft on, yes, it does feel soft. Definitely does feel soft. It's hard to sort of like pick. Is it softer than, I mean, I play a premium golf ball, a fairly soft premium golf ball, so it feels very similar to that. Higher flight, wasn't quite the low launching spinnier flight, so it was just slightly higher flight. But anyway, let's go to the V. The V. So bear in mind we couldn't hear anything the first time off driver. That sound, the first one sounded soft. Sounded nice, felt nice, but it sounded soft. Slightly clean, but that's hot. That sounds hard. That'd be interesting to see, because I haven't looked at all the data on the balls yet, because I didn't want to be influenced necessarily on how they should or should not feel. But that was, and I caught that a couple of grooves low, but that was it was a very high flight. Didn't seem very spinny, but quite a high flight and a very loud noise to my ears. Yeah, okay. Did I like it? If I'm being honest, no. 566, yes. The V, not a fan of, personally. Very high flight, wasn't a very boring trajectory. If there's lots of wind, that may get caught up in it. Anyway, let's go again. This time it's the Tour. So Tour, and then like we did last time, it's Tour now. Yeah, now that feels nice. That feels really nice. That feels lovely. Back to premium golf balls. Well, actually, to be fair, it felt nice, but that felt very, very, very similar to the 566, the first one. Completely different to the V, though. The V sounded really high pitch, clippy, hard, like. Anyway, let's go have a look at Tour X, last one. So I've got 3 green balls at the moment. Can I make 4 in a row? Tour X time. Caught that slightly thin. Slightly like the V. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's down the pipe. Absolutely down the pipe, but I caught it a fractionally groove low. And it was a slightly noisier sound. Fractionally, the Tour and the 566 are by far the nicest feeling ones so far. The V don't like, and the Tour X, it's a pitch difference. I mean, you'll see there, I don't know if you can, I can't zoom in on there, I don't think the camera's the right angle, but the Tour X actually, considering it was the one groove low, it's best result. Anyway, let's go down to the green. Let's go do some putting. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Let's do some putting. time to have a look at these ones when it comes to 7-iron. So we've been on the course, had a little look how they feel into greens, etc. Let's go by backspin again, first of all, and let's go to the 7-iron. And you can see by the scatter graph there, the one that actually is the least consistent, yes, is the cheapest golf ball. It's the 566. Average spin is just slightly lower than the rest of them, but it's the inconsistency of the spin for me which then starts to separate. Now, there are differences between these golf balls, massive differences. Price for one, you got the 566, which is being offered, I mean, just at the range here, we are offering some crazy deals on the 566 because they are such good value golf balls. Then you partner that up against the RB Tour and the RB Tour X. I mean, they're full on price premium golf balls. I mean, I don't know how much they're going to be. Let's pick a number out of the thing. We'll put it up on the screen there. Go on, there you go. Rather than seeing it saying it, you'll put it up on the screen. Against what the 566 is. As you can see, massive differences. You're going to start seeing a slight deviation in consistency now when you start talking about going to a 566, which is cheaper. But bear in mind, especially as I come more with loft, driver, I'm fairly accurate, but I'm a human being. As soon as you add more loft, I'm going to start becoming more accurate. So this is becoming more like robot testing. Now, I'm lucky that I deliver the same very, very similarly every single time. So we're dealing with data which is going to be a little bit more consistent. Now, let's not forget, guys, that you yourselves are amateur golfers, you're handicap golfers. You have got inconsistency in your golf swing. The golf ball alone is one aspect to the inconsistency, but you yourself are another one. So you could see there that there's certain shots that you get low backspin on. You could get those low spinning and launching normal, but they'll go further. But bear in mind, those ones that go further, those flyer golf balls, I will notice those because I'm hitting the same within reason every single time. You guys that don't, you might misstrike one out the heel or out the toe or out high or low or wherever it be, but then catch a low spinner and it goes the same distance as it's always gone. You think it's a good shot. The whole idea of this, it's no different to what we have when going on game improvement irons and stuff like that. The faces are really inconsistent on the very, very explosive power distance ones, because when it comes to the high handicap golfer, because they don't strike the golf ball the same every single time, they may poorly hit a golf ball but get the face on there's really springy bit. The golf ball goes further than what it normally would do, but because they deliver it, actually it goes the distance they want, they think is a good shot. So anyway, if you look at all those RB Tour, RB Tour X, RB566V, they're basically doing very, very, very similar things. Right, let's go to what we're going to go to now. Very, very quickly, because we're going to take too long. Ball speed, again, looking at that, what is in it? They're 118 miles an hour on average, 118 a bit, 119 nearly, and then 117 and a bit. So they're all basically doing the exact same thing. You can see there, though, that generally speaking, it's the lower performing golf ball or the cheaper golf ball, which has a little bit more inconsistency. That's natural. But again, you're looking at the price point here. You're talking at less than half the price. And with some of the crazy deals that we're doing with the 566 at the moment, something like 3 dozen for £45, against, you're basically getting one box nearly for like a premium golf ball. So yeah, launch angle and distance. Let's go launch angle. Look at that. What can you take from that? Again, you could argue that the launch angles on the premium balls are more consistent, whether you get a slight variation in the 566. Let's go distance and see if it makes any difference whatsoever. Was that 164, 164, 163, 164? No. And if you look at the deviation on there, you could argue they're all exactly the same. So necessarily, the 566 at that price of golf ball is performing exceptionally well when it comes to hitting the number that I want it to hit. Right, that's enough of that. Let's go around the golf course. Let's go hit some putts and stuff. See how it feels on the green. And then we're just going to go back in here and see how the wedges, when you really want to spin them, let's see how those premium golf balls and also the 566, the cheapy ones, actually perform. Okay, approaching the green so you can see. So this is the V, the 566 V, the second ball I hit. That's just left the pin, but pin high, but I can't see the pitch mark anywhere around here. So I'm thinking this one bounced a bit early and then run, which would go again exactly what I was saying about that flight idea. That one, you can't really see that one properly because that was straight down the pipe from that line, but just slightly off to the right. But hopefully you can see here, that's the pitch mark, and considering that's the X, that was the last ball I hit, that came in slightly lower because I caught it slightly groove low, but that's all, look at the spin there, that's kept it very, very nice and tight. Going over slightly to the right hand side, here comes the Tour. Better shot, obviously I pitched there, bounced forward and zipped back to there again, pin high, just slightly right. And then you've got this one here, ball 566. The pitch mark for that one is there, you can see. So it did, obviously it didn't have the spin profile of the 566, it launched higher, hence the reason why it still stopped. But I wouldn't want to try and control the V and the 566 in the wind. Anyway, let's do some putting. Let's bring them all together, put them into a decent, hopefully decent gap, and do some putting. Let's go set it up. Okay, all balls together, all pitch marks repaired. Guys, make sure you do repair your pitch marks. Yours and one other, then there'd be none. Yeah, okay, that's enough. Right, so let's do the same pattern as we did before. So 566 first, then the V, then the Tour, then the Tour X, before I get eaten by bugs. Right, slight left to right swing, give or take 20 foot or so. Oh, didn't swing as much as I thought. Good pace. Soft, really, really soft. Feels nice off the face. I like that. I could play with the RB566. I like the blue as well, rather than black motif and numbering. I like the blue. Right, 566V. What's this one going to feel like off the face? Same putt. Oh yeah, that's noisy. But it's gone in, but I don't like it. I suppose results, that's all it cares about, really, isn't it? Let's move that one out of the way, because it's gone in. No, remember. For the moment. Right, what have we got? RB Tour. There you go, perfect, all in line. This is what I would normally want to play. Something like this, either that or the X. That's what we're looking for. Oh, burnt the edge. Yeah, lovely feeling. Actually like the 566. Feeling very, very similar to the first ball, the 566, I believe. Again, got to look at all the data and stuff like that. It seems or feels like a similar compression, but I'm guessing the 566 is very, very soft. Anyway, so we are one in, one out, one out. So come on, let's see if we can get this one in. The X now, Tour X. Done the same thing again. Didn't break as much as I think. Nice speed grouping though. So anyway, 566 soft. The Tour, RB Tour soft. RB Tour X, the last one I've just hit there, did feel just slightly firmer. I didn't lose any feel from it. The 566V though, even though that was the only one to go in, I could not play it. Off the drive, didn't feel no difference, but off an iron with loft and off with putter, it just feels like a marble to me. Now, if you guys like a hard feeling golf ball, then by all means, that is a great option, because that's what it does. It feels like a marble to me. But I mean, obviously I'm hitting 566 Tour and the Tour X at the exact same time, so it's subjective, yes it is, but I'm comparing. As you see there, I didn't have any problem necessarily producing similar pace. It was just a case of the 566V, yeah, just a bit too hard for me. Welcome back. Time to do the spinny ones, the ones that people really want to see. What ones really rip back? So Let's go to the top first. Let's go work our way down. Right, so backspin first of all. People want to see what happens when you get a full lob wedge and see how much these things spin. Now, straight away, just look at the difference. You can see straight away the difference. Now, when you've got loft, the difference between a premium golf ball and a non-premium golf ball. So the interesting thing for me on this one is the RB566V, how non-performing that was. So when it comes to consistency of spin, I don't necessarily mind how much spin it produces. I'd much rather it produce as much spin as I can do, but if it produces slightly less spin, that's absolutely fine as long as it's consistent. The 566V wasn't consistent at all, being blatantly honest. The 566 outperformed that, and it's a cheaper golf ball by a large margin. Okay, now look at you can see RB Tour and RB Tour X, they're tight bunching. They are really, really small. They are such good performing golf balls. When it comes to urethane and when it comes to IMA, Sheridan cover, just distance golf balls or anything of that ilk, the main difference is that urethane cover. It's that difference what you're going to get bite off the face. You're going to slightly launch it slightly lower, and you're going to get a bit more spin. When it comes to the other golf balls, unfortunately, you are going to get a little bit of, rather than grab on the face, it's going to sort of slip and roll up, and then you're going to get higher launch and lower spin. But let's go into let's go into the launch angle first of all after the backspin, so you can understand from that what I mean. And anyway, there you go. Straight away, the RB Tour and RB Tour X, again, they're performing in a tight clustered bunch. What you'd expect from a premium golf ball with a urethane cover. Launching basically exactly the same, but in a very tight bunch. Go to RB566V and RB566, and you can see there straight away, instantly, there is deviation. You get them high launch, low spinners, which pop up in the air, and although we'll go a similar distance within reason, you're going to get massive differences in trajectory. Where when it comes to using a Pro V, when it comes to using a RB Tour or an RB Tour X or a Pro V or a Chrome Soft, a premium golf ball, they're going to launch at a consistent level and also spin at a consistent level as well. When you go to the cheaper golf balls, we haven't got that cover, you start seeing that difference. Big one for me is actually how bad the RB566V was. The RB566, which is again the cheaper golf ball, outperformed that. So considering how cheap the RB566 is, I'm not surprised by the RB Tour and the RB Tour X at all, because they're premium golf balls. They should do this job, and they do the job really, really well. What I'm surprised about is just how good the RB566 is. Let's go, should we go for distance? Everyone wants to know how far it goes. Let's go distance, there it is, gotcha. Right, so yeah, you're going to get a little bit of sporadic movement. Again, I'm a human, so I don't deliver exactly the same every time. I don't strike it exactly the same every time, which is going to make those differences in distance anyway. But you can see, within reason, the RB Tour and RB Tour X are going a similar amount. Yeah, the error bars are tighter. When it comes to the RB566, and also the RB566V, the RB566 was a little bit less consistent, but then again, you're looking at necessarily, it's the difference in launch and spin profiles that you're going to get, because it's being shown up by the fact that I'm delivering the same every single time within reason. Considering, could I play with this golf ball? Let's not forget here that I'm trying to hit 96 yards. Give or take 96 yards. That's my normal stock. 96, 97 yards is my stock. My worst shot with the RB566 is going about 102, and then it drops down to 92 when I mishit it. Now, I mishit, again, there's two on there that really shouldn't be kept on the RB566, and also one on the V that really shouldn't be kept on there because I misstruck it. But I've kept them on there because it's honest, open data collection. So you could argue that if you take them two out at the bottom, that would bring then the averages even closer, and that would be a little bit more of a fair representation of what they are. But I did it, so it's on there. So considering that, the 566 is doing exceptionally well. The 566V, for me, actually, I'm not a great fan of the feel of it. It's a three-piece golf ball. It just doesn't feel very nice for me. But the 566 feels very nice being a softy golf ball. Again, okay, the RB Tour X, they're premium golf balls. They feel lovely. So to conclude, I would say that if you're looking for a premium golf ball, RB Tour, RB Tour X got slight differences, which you can see there in the numbers, how they produce different heights and spins, etc. But they do their job, which they're profiled to do. My standout here is the RB566 because of the price point. The price point is so cheap for this type of golf ball, and the performance you get from it, considering it is not a premium golf ball, is exceptionally good. Now, would I use it? No, I wouldn't. I'll be honest, I will continue to use my premium golf balls because I need that consistent launch window and that consistent spin window because I'm delivering the same every single time within reason. Guys that don't, the inaccuracy in the golf ball will as much hurt and help the misstrikes depending on what they do. So when you look at this, what I might try and do is I might try and do another test where I get a handicapped golfer to hit these different and actually see if there's any difference whatsoever. And my guessing is they would be nullified. They would be absolutely exactly the same. But anyway, hope you like that video. Hope you like the old on-course stuff as well. Done lots of data here. Hope you guys appreciate it. It's a lot of hits, a lot of days of testing, bang, 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 just trying to give you some good information. So hope you like that one. If you did, click the old like button below. Comment below. What kind of golf ball do you like to use? Are you going to be using Mizuno golf balls? Will you give them a test? Will you continue to use your type of golf ball? Down there, red button, subscribe. Click that one if you can. Helps the channel. Also, while you're there, next to it, bell icon. Click that. That'll let you know next time I release another video. So hope you're well, and we'll see you again soon.